The blind technician is massaging the boss. Press and hold. He suddenly heard a lock prying sound. Boss turn on surveillance. No figures were found. Let me fuck you. Next second, the robber broke into the door. They beat up the boss. Let him open the safe. The boss obediently follows suit on the surface. Actually, I secretly pressed the alarm. Then he picked up the electric stick on the side and confronted the robbers. Unexpectedly, the robber didn't play according to the routine. Give up directly. Only the boss received the boxed lunch in an instant. The blind technician on the side is almost scared to pee. The robber picked up the candlestick, pierced his eyes. The technician's eyeballs remain motionless. Make sure he really wants to. The robbers let him go. But when they're ready to leave, but the police arrived at the scene. The robbers quickly escaped with one foot on the gas pedal. The police are chasing fiercely behind them, can trace to a fork in the road. The robber's car is actually missing. Seeing a little boy knocked down to the ground, the police chase this road without even thinking about it. But they never expected it. This seemingly honest little boy. Actually, they're part of the gang with the robbers, and all the robbers are his father. Hui was taken away by a robber when he was 3 years old. Demand a high ransom from their parents. Chinese parents are worried about kidnappers tearing up tickets. Secretly reported to the police. The informant from the police station informed the kidnappers of this matter. Now the little Chinese has become a hot potato. After all, he's only 3 years old. A robber wanted to shoot him with one shot. Stopped by the elderly, he decided to race Hui up to 5 robbers, passing on a lifetime of unique skills to Hui's design techniques of leaping forward with 100 steps, drifting technology comparable to autumn-famous mountain chariot gods, and close combat and sliding door lock picking. Hui is simply a genius. Learn all kinds of skills to excel. But one of the fathers doesn't want Chinese people to grow up and become robbers with them. He obtained documents for Chinese Americans. I want to send him abroad to live a normal life. But the cotton boss firmly disagrees, because Chinese people have had a problem since childhood. He always says he can see monsters. Cotton boss, in order to help him overcome his fear, once locked him in a small black room. But until now, Hui also failed to defeat the monster in his heart, so Hui can't live independently at all. This day, the cotton boss suddenly said to him, "Dad, this is it. You gave it all to me. Demolition of nail households is the biggest headache for developers." But this developer is not worried. He directly brought in a gang of robbers, asked them to help remove this nail household, and then disguised as a burglary. Looking at the photo of the target person, the young leader remained suspiciously silent for a few seconds. Finally, I took on this business. To exercise the courage of Chinese Americans, the old man asked him to pry open the door lock first. At this moment, the police car patrolled nearby. Look at him standing alone outside the door for a long time, preparing to come forward and check. Critical moment. Chinese successfully pried open the door lock. "He's yours." Dispelled the police's suspicion. Chinese people picked up a photo as soon as they entered the house. The child in the photo looks a bit familiar. Suddenly, there was a noise coming from behind. The hostess of the original house was hidden in the wardrobe. At this moment, the dads also arrived. Hui pretended not to notice anything, concealing the story of the hostess. Several people are preparing to launch a search. The male owner of the house has returned, but was knocked down by the ambush robbers. They were about to force him to inquire about his wife's whereabouts. But suddenly a woman's scream came from outside, so the hostess has already escaped outside. A robber quickly chased after him. Fortunately, the hostess stopped a van. The robbers can only give up temporarily, but the van driver caught up instead. No mercy, no mercy. The robber did not hesitate to give him pleasure. This is Hui's first time watching her fathers kill someone. Received a significant impact. The boss of the year gets angry when he looks like this. Give him the gun, let him kill the male master. But kind-hearted Chinese people can't even take action. At this point, the male host seems to have remembered something. Just about to speak up, the young boss suddenly shouted loudly. Scared, Hui frantically pulled the trigger. Everyone was stunned by Hui. The developer learned that the target person had run away with, and sent his own thugs to deal with the mistress. Auntie's first murder. Obviously, I've been stimulated quite a bit. Aunt Zukin, the eldest woman, came to visit him. Just saw the photo brought back by Hui. Just you? This sentence shocked hearts of Hui greatly. He returned to that house. Sure enough, I found a children's room in the house. Familiar memories gradually revive in my mind. Looking at the piles of people seeking notices on the table, he finally understood. The owner of the house is their biological parents. The reason why they refuse to move away. Just afraid that one day the child won't be able to find home. And I actually killed my biological father. At this point, suddenly, a sound came downstairs. The hostess wants to commit suicide. Chinese people should quickly save him. Sent to a nearby hospital. Night. Chinese people returning home try to ask, why would a father do this? Dad is speechless, holding the hand of Chinese descent. Pulled the trigger. On the other side, the killer sent by the developer has arrived at Hui MOMS hospital. Just as he was about to take action, Hui suddenly rushed forward. He had long anticipated that the other party wouldn't let long go. Hui is well deserved, and has won the true biography of the robber fathers, even when facing a gold medal killer. Successfully solved the killer. To protect my mother, she must solve it. Developers also need to make a deal with their dads. But can he really do it? The boy was raised by a gang of robbers. They taught him skills, gave him fatherly love and care, but deceived him into personally killing his biological mother. Chinese call Cotton Boss. Meet him at an abandoned factory. These things must be brought to an end. Hang up the phone. The monsters in the hearts of Chinese Americans reappear. But this time, he lost his fear. Calm gaze into the monster's eyes. The monster slowly turned into smoke. Dissipate. Soon. Dads arrived as scheduled. Unexpectedly, the developer's subordinates also came. This is exactly the good play arranged by Huiye. At a time when both sides were somewhat puzzled, a thug was killed. This seems like a signal. Both sides immediately engaged in a fierce battle. The developer's side is crowded with people, although dads are skilled. Suffer heavy causalities. In the end, only the Cotton Boss walked out alive. Huiye doesn't want to personally kill his dads. Just designed it. Let them kill each other. But seeing the Cotton Boss still alive, he still set up a sniper gun. At this moment, the father in charge of driving rushed over, strived to stop disputes between Chinese Americans. The dilapidated railing suddenly broke. Huiye quickly pounced out. Hold him down. This father has always loved Chinese people the most. He keeps apologizing to Chinese Americans, and then he released his hand. Just happened to die in front of the Cotton Boss. Cotton Boss ignored the Chinese people on top. He exploded, all the eyes on the scene. The only intact vehicle is leaving soon. What did Huiye suddenly realize? Stopped a car on the roadside to rush to the hospital. Unfortunately, he came one step late. Watching MOMS cold body, Chinese people collapsed and knelt outside the ward. He returned home and questioned the Cotton Boss why he wanted to kill his only relative. Who knows, the boss said. This is to help him eliminate the monster in his heart. Originally, when Miana was the same size as Huiye, you could also see terrifying monsters. He just killed the person closest to him. After, I've never seen a monster again. He once captured Aunt Sukin. Let Antoine kill him too, so that Antoine can defeat the heart demon. Antoine knelt down on the ground. Say, I can't see the monster anymore. Cotton Boss touched the face of Chinese Americans. Hold on to him. Chinese people regarded as parent-child. But the next second, Huiye pulled the trigger. Actually, Cotton Boss was wrong. He killed his own relatives. Did not eliminate the monster, but turning oneself into a monster. Chinese people are actually protecting their loved ones. Defeated the monster with an unwavering heart. The young leader ultimately did not shoot Chinese Americans. He ended his life with a tear. Nail households are cleared. Developers proudly hold the commencement ceremony. Suddenly, a light flashed before my eyes. Put Huiye's sniper gun into the piano box, gradually disappearing into a sea of people.